Smart and intelligent. Think about this sentence. I know a student who's intelligent but not smart. Now, to some of you, it probably sounded like I said, I have a dog that's big but not large.
Wait, what?
But believe it or not, these words are different, and they're not as similar as words like big and large. They don't mean exactly the same thing. Native English speakers also often prefer using one over the other depending on the sentence, and that's what we're going to look at today. Let's begin. Let's have a look at the first example. The boy has got perfect math tests, science tests, and history tests behind him. As you can see, he got 100% on all of his grades, and he even won some trophies that you can see in the background. But have a look at his bedroom. It's a complete mess. This is an example of somebody who learns incredibly quickly, doesn't need to focus very much at school. They don't need to do their homework or listen very much in class, and they just seem to breeze through everything in school and anything in academic learning. Have a look at the student on the right and notice how it's different. Now, this student might not get perfect scores in all of their tests, but they do their homework, they try hard at school, they're organized, and they've gotten a good result through hard work. Which of these students would you say is intelligent and which one is smart? The way we use these words in English is that the student on the left we would consider to be intelligent and the student on the right is smart. The difference in meaning between these words is that smart is related to being practical and effective, learned through experience. And intelligent is related to cognitive ability or brain power. It's a natural ability and talent. Now, not all cultures agree on intelligence being a natural ability, but in English and in Western cultures, we usually say that intelligence is something that you either have or you don't have. But think about something like IQ. IQ is usually something that you either have or you don't, and there's very little movement with how high or low it is. If you have a high IQ, it's usually because this is something that you're born with, and you have the ability to understand complex things easily, you learn quickly. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but it's just the way that we break up the meaning in English. Well, let's have a look at a few examples. The intelligent boy knows a lot of facts about survival, and he knows a lot of the science around nature. You can see that he has a diagram of edible plants, and he's reading books about surviving in nature. He understands the chemistry of how to make a fire and how to purify water, but he's not very effective at actually surviving in nature. Now look at the smart boy. You can see that he's very effective and practical. He can build a shelter, he can find food and start a fire. Now he's learned this through experience, not through reading it in a book. The next example is similar. The boy on the left is intelligent and he can understand and create very complicated blueprints and designs for a complex treehouse. He doesn't have any practical experience in making a treehouse. The boy on the right can make a treehouse. It might not be as complicated as the one in the plan that the intelligent student has created, but he's clearly built a few tree houses already, and he's learned this experience through practicing construction and making tree houses. Now, the intelligent boy, once he gets a bit of construction experience, he might be able to build a more complicated one, but at the moment, he has not applied his knowledge to the real world, and so he is simply intelligent, but perhaps not very smart yet. Whereas the boy who's built a treehouse is clearly very smart, and he's able to build an effective treehouse. Another way that we can consider these words is that smart is someone who has learned a lot of things through experience or hard work, and it's someone who's intelligent can learn and understand complex ideas quickly and without much effort. The next example is about a scientist. Now, on the left, you can see that he's in his office and he's able to understand and comprehend very complex ideas. He's able to understand difficult theories about science, and he's reading advanced books on scientific knowledge. So he's clearly very intelligent. On the right, you can see that he has forgotten his keys. He's not very practical and effective in his life, although he's very intelligent at his job. Intelligence is almost always associated with science and learning complex ideas. When we're discussing intelligence when related to the ability to learn complex tasks or not, we could say that all of these three animals are smart because they've learned tricks, but there are levels to the complexity of the tricks that they can learn. So we could say that the dolphin is more intelligent than the dog, and the dog is more intelligent than the goldfish. The goldfish has learned to follow food, so it's smart enough to follow the food. This would be quite easy for a dog. A dog wouldn't have to try very hard to follow food. It comes more naturally to them. So we could say that the dog is more intelligent than the goldfish. It's also learned a few tricks as well, so the dog is also smart. The dolphin, on the other hand, is able to learn more complex problems and do more complicated tasks. It could do things that the dog couldn't do. So we could say that the dolphin is more intelligent than the dog, and the dog is more intelligent than the goldfish, but all three of these animals are smart. Which sentence sounds more natural? He's one of the most intelligent scientists in the field, or he's one of the smartest scientists in the field. In English, intelligence is almost always associated with complex subjects like science. Native speakers would naturally say he's one of the most intelligent scientists in the field.
If you're enjoying the lesson so far and would like to see more videos about learning the difference between English vocabulary words, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel so you can see me more often.
Which sentence sounds more natural? She found a smart solution to the problem, or she found an intelligent solution to the problem. Both of these work. It just depends on what you want to communicate. If we say that the solution was smart, perhaps the solution came from learned experience and being practical. Whereas if the solution was intelligent, it might simply be a more complicated solution that required more brain power and cognitive ability. Again, which sentence sounds more natural? He's highly intelligent or highly smart? Native speakers would never say he's highly smart. This sounds strange and unnatural. The natural collocation is he's highly intelligent. She answered the question intelligently, or she answered the question smartly. The second one sounds strange, answering the question smartly. If we say that she answered the question intelligently, we would assume that the answer was well thought out, complicated, and required a lot of deep thinking. Now, the next one, you should be smart with your money, or you should be intelligent with your money. Now, using money is something that all people have to do, so we don't consider this a particularly complex task. But being good with your money is usually something that comes from experience. Saying you should be smart with your money sounds a bit more natural in English. Saying that you should be intelligent with your money, this suggests that the person is using their money for something more complicated, such as investing in different stocks or cryptocurrencies. Being smart with your money sounds like it's coming from everyday experience and the choices that people make in their daily life. Now, if we were discussing a lawyer, and we describe this person saying she knows a lot of complex laws and has memorized many things, she might be able to recite laws from her memory without needing to look them up in a book. Would you say that she's a smart lawyer or an intelligent lawyer? In this situation, saying that she is an intelligent lawyer fits better. How would you describe this businessman? He has built many successful businesses and has learned many things over the years. Well, because we're saying that he's learned things through his practical experience, saying that he's a smart businessman works a bit better in this sentence. How would you describe this businessman? He created a large, complex company in a new field of research related to science and technology. The company has multiple factories that are full of robots doing complicated tasks. Intelligent sounds a bit better here. Let's have a look at a smart or an intelligent traveler. So the one on the left is a smart traveler. He's learned a lot of scams through his experience traveling. He's able to negotiate prices and read the situation well. So he's smart. He's learned this knowledge through his experience traveling. Let's look at the intelligent traveler. He has a book about the country that he's traveling in, and he might know a lot of facts about that country. But because he hasn't got the learned experience that the smart traveler has, he's easily fooled. He pays high prices, and he doesn't read the situation well. But if he's truly intelligent, he would learn very quickly, and on his next trip, he wouldn't get fooled as easily as the first time. Have a look at the next example. Both of these dogs are able to solve the food puzzle, but one dog was able to solve it much quicker than the other dog. The dog that was able to learn quickly is more intelligent. The dog that was able to learn the trick after more effort is still smart, but because it learned at a slower pace than the first dog, it is not as intelligent. Smart and intelligent are both adjectives, and the noun forms are intelligence. But the noun form for smart is interesting. It's either smartness or smarts, and you don't see it very often. Intelligence is quite common though. The adverbs smartly and intelligently appear sometimes as well. One of the more interesting collocations with smart is saying that somebody is street smart. What do you think we're trying to communicate here? When you say that somebody is street smart, you're saying that they have learned a lot of things about surviving in the real world. They've spent time in the streets by themselves, and they've learned a lot about how people work, how to survive, and how to get by. Perhaps he doesn't have many people to support him, and so he's had to learn a lot by himself. He's able to read the situation and understand danger. He knows where to get food from generous people. He knows a good way to get clean water. He can read maps, use public transport. He forms relationships with people and is quite comfortable in the streets by himself. So let's do a gap fill activity. Which word fits better, smart or intelligent? Have a look at the context of the first sentence. We're discussing a professor, and they've published many research papers. When discussing academic ability, intelligence fits better than smart. As always, guys, I'd love to hear some of the sentences that you can come up with using today's words. If you can't think of any, then here are a few sentence starters to make some good, complicated sentences. And here's our discussion question for the day. Which quality is more important for success? Intelligence or smart decision making? And make sure you explain your answer. I've got another discussion question for us today as well. Can experience make someone smarter? Can experience make someone more intelligent? What's the difference? More activities in the pinned comments below if you want some more practice so you can test your understanding of these two words. Alright guys, thank you for making it to the end of the video. So while smart and intelligent are often mixed up and people assume they have the same meaning, intelligent is often associated more with natural ability and brain power, and smart is associated with learned experience and practical effectiveness. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this, and make sure you write your sentences in the comments below and check the pinned comment for some extra activities to test your understanding. Stay busy, be good, and I'll see you next time.